All right, Big Talk Tuesday, episode 3. We love Sharp, the Sharp Tank,
Love Sharp, bro.
Yes, bro.
Shout out Sharp.
Shout out Sharp. If you know who Sharp is, bro, shout out Sharp. No, Sharp is a great man. Just know that. If you're hip, you're hip, man.
Yeah.
Just know.
Let's talk about some of bro views though.
Sharp's views?
Yeah, I like his like get it out, like capitalize on everything. Type of shit.
The emphasis and the shit he means, bro.
I know, bro. You be like, you really ain't doing enough, and I'll be like, yeah, you right.
That's the truth. Honestly, it's true. When he says it, means that shit for sure.
No, dude, Sharp is honestly, actually, like, he's very real. He's a very big realist. Like, sometimes what he says, bro, he's sharp for a reason, because it hurts. But, like, bro, yeah, a lot of the time he is speaking fact. Like, if you listen to what he says.
I like when we talk to some of these women out here, because, like, not even on those sexist shit. It'd be like, y'all could really be taking advantage of the whole system. Like, I'm not saying be like Brittany Renner, but she really is doing it best right now. She be like taking advantage of the
I ain't gonna lie, she rich.
Yeah, she rich as shit. She know what she doing. She evil. She may be the villain, but she a smart villain.
Trump says a lot of fucked up shit, but one thing he does say is it's important for a woman to know her value.
Yeah.
That is true. The most important thing for a woman to know is her value.
Yeah, that's true. That's important for anybody.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Know your own value. That's true.
Because, bro, if you don't know your own value, you're gonna underrate yourself. How are you gonna get anywhere? You gotta overrate yourself. If anything.
Yeah, bro. Like you say, it starts from the inside out. Build yourself up.
Bro, perfect segue into what this is actually supposed to be about: overcoming the victim mentality. Bro, overcoming the victim mentality is easy, bro. You're you're the best. So don't, you know what I mean? Don't let it harm you. Don't let it draw back on what you're doing. You have to just, you know what I mean? I don't know how else to say it. Like, you have to picture yourself as the best. Because,
Let's break it down though. So like, when you're viewing yourself as the victim, and the whole world is telling you that you're a victim, and that you should be down, and you should be looking at yourself and taking handouts from others. That's what you're gonna expect from the world. A lot of kids are growing up in that society today, where they're expecting that because they went through X amount of things, they're gonna get something back for it. And obviously that might be the case, but mindset wise, and like just as a rule of life, I don't believe that's how you're gonna improve. Like, sitting there and letting everybody tell you that I feel so sorry for you. Like, everybody hates being pitied. I think that's a rule of life for everybody. You don't like being looked down on. And the fact that we can build up from that and change the whole view about ourselves is something worthwhile, something we can chase. You know what I mean?
To me, honestly, I feel like mental freedom is supreme. At the end of the day, you and yourself it's all about perspective. You could be literally a slave, as some philosophers were, and you can look at yourself in a different perspective, in a different way, and you can live your life fulfillingly and have a complete life, depending on your perspective. By just freeing yourself.
Yeah. We only living in the present.
Yeah.
In a literal sense. Well, obviously, in like a scientific sense, there's a past, there's a future. Yep. But in a literal sense, you're only ever living in the present. What happened before, you have to. I don't want to say you have to get over that, because some people going through some crazy shit.
Yeah, bro. All right. Here's the thing. Like trauma and stuff is real, but you have to. All right. You can't let the trauma override you. You know what I mean? Like, what you're going through mentally, when you let it draw back on you, it's going to drive you even worse mentally. You know what I mean? Like, it's only going to end off worse. You're going to literally lose. I don't know how to describe this, but, like, what you're doing and what you have is, you're going to lose it, because you're not going to be doing what you could, if that makes sense. I don't know how to put that in real terms. Yeah, exactly. It's going to cause stagnation, and it's going to cause decline. Like, you have to...
you have to take it and build off of that.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta learn from it. Terrible things happen, you have to learn from those experiences.
Exactly. Don't, like I said, Issa can attest to this, I've said this for a little while now, but it's not losses, it's lessons, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's not losses, it's lessons. You gotta flip them around, and you gotta learn and get better off of it.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing, though, because it's hard to tell some people, like, I'm sure y'all know some people in your life who've been through some crazy shit.
Yeah.
And you probably be like, damn, I can't even, how am I supposed to say this to this person while I know nothing about the experience they went through?
I couldn't even imagine myself going through that.
Exactly. But you know the answer, and they know the answer, but, life is telling them, hey, that's really fucked up that happened to you. Maybe you should get something back for it. And they're that breeds a mentality of stagnation. Like you're gonna sit there and wait for people to give you handouts.
Right.
And humans aren't like that. Humans are gonna pursue their greatest desire.
Yeah, exactly. You start worrying about it too much, and it causes you to not have the same drive that you had. You know what I mean? Because you start to stop believing in your drive. You start to stop believing that you can go where you want to go. When in reality, you should be using this as, okay, this is all the reason why I need to push harder. This is all the reason why I need to work as hard as possible so I can prove everybody wrong. So I can be on top of the world despite, what everybody wants to say. Like,
I also think that it connects.
Beat pity, bro. Beat pity.
I think it connects to knowing your self-value.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like know your self-worth and like what you can really do with yourself and what you're really able to do if you put in that time and effort. You can like break free from like these things that like restrain you and constrict you in life. Whether that be that victim mentality or the systems or whatever that is, the cultural expectations, familiar expectations from family and friends. A lot of these things can restrain you, but it all depends on your mindset and how you look at things and how you go about it.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Shoot. I know, personally some people who are very reliant on those around them. And I personally think that I don't think I might not be able to change them. It can't come from me. It gotta come from them. They gotta be able to get themselves out the rut and start pursuing what the hell they want. They don't, but if they not really about that, I guess not everybody about that. Not everybody about the life of trying to gain something new. Some people is okay with their comfortability. I'll never understand those people, but it is what it is. But personally, I believe the strive for happiness and the pursuit for the pursuit and experience for things you desire is so valuable. Like you can't let other things stop you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Like it's hard to be to grow happy or content with your life if you're not striving to get somewhere. You know what I mean?
100%. How can you be happy doing the same thing every day? Like, how can you be happy with stagnation? I mean, maybe some people are content with that, but I feel like the average man or woman just could not live like that. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you're an NPC. I know that's not a common term these nowadays, but like just
some people really are cynic and
yeah, just like robots. I don't know.
Obviously, you can live however you want to, but I know my truth and my beliefs on what should be how I should be going forward. That I would not let that type of thing stop me. And obviously, that's gonna be different when I start going through things. When I start experiencing things that these people have experienced, it's gonna fight me back. It's gonna try to beat my ass, but I'm gonna be fighting back too.
Yeah,
shit.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta keep up. That's really what it is, bro. Just keep up fighting. Never let off. Because as soon as you stop a little bit, bro, it's with anything. Consistency is key. Especially if, getting a place of success. And if you can't keep that consistency because you're worried about X thing, I don't know.
Yeah, I like the word is self-discipline. That self-discipline is very important in all aspects of life. You can apply in so many ways for so many different things, whether that be academically, or for your health, or for financially to keep you out of a bad situation, to be prosperous, or just like with your morals and how you live your life, live a good life. Abide by these things with discipline. There are going to be temptations, and there are going to be things that are hard not to do, and different things like that. But self-discipline to overcome them. I don't mean temptations in the sense of people when I say that think religiously, but I mean even if you're working out every day and you want to eat a donut, you really think you should eat that donut. That temptation for that, even though it's good, it tastes really good. You gotta have that self-discipline to restrict yourself, for everything. And it's important.
Yeah. I feel like I practice self-discipline a little bit, very rigidly, the way I personally do it, and I feel like that's the only way you can be, because if you don't hold yourself to it, if you don't continuously hold yourself to your standard, you're gonna start decreasing, slowly. But, for me, I literally tell myself, oh, you have to do this. You have to hit X thing. Alright, so, for example, especially with, my calories and intake and stuff for the day, bro, do you know how much determination, it takes to, bro, I purposely, I hit exactly, 200 grams of protein on average, and then I, no carbs, no fats, anything. Very, very, rigid diet with kombucha and stuff, probiotics, vitamins, all that. And it's just,
you feel like that
Stay rigid.
self-discipline helps you?
Yes, bro. Well, I literally can't miss the gym. Like I can't. Like I feel like I have to every day. I don't know what to do with my day if I don't go to the gym. Like
I feel like
it's part of my routine.
I feel like discipline and discipline is rigid and structured in nature. Like that, as a rule of life, it only exists in those forms. Like it's like a type of energy. Like you,
bro. It's literally like I every single day, bro. I wake up, I take a shower. I have to, you know what I mean? You do these things, like, I don't know, discipline yourself to do.
It's like a very calm, positive energy.
Yeah.
Self-discipline is a hard thing for a lot of people. And I mean, even me personally, I find it hard to hold myself accountable a lot of times for some things I don't want to do.
Because it like isn't instant gratification.
Yeah, you do things a lot of times for no instant reward, and there's no instant like payout, you know? A lot of times I have a hard time, like a lot of other people in my generation and my age, with instant gratification, you know, and if I do something, I want to instantly see the reward, you know, and it's hard for me now, even though I try now to hold myself accountable, because I recognize that I need this discipline to become successful.
Yeah. I look at it as like preventative measures with everything that I do. So for example, like taking a shower, like I'm looking at the situation like I'm gonna take a shower because it will literally decrease my position in society if I stop taking a shower. Like, bro, you know what I mean? Like,
that's an interesting way to look at it.
Like, bro.
I mean, that is literal.
Exactly, like, bro. You prevent decline, no matter what. Like,
I feel like whatever that is in your mind.
Yeah, so then it doesn't draw back from what you can do. You know what I mean?
Because it's different for different people. Maybe like it's kind of fucked up, but like maybe you could be the stinkiest person in the world, but that's not a value to you. Maybe like at home, like say you like a gamer, like and that's what you like, hey, nothing's gonna stop me from finishing this game, so I'm gonna go the whole day. I'm gonna go 48 hours finishing that bitch. That's a form of discipline. We gotta be honest.
That is true.
Because we be honest,
I would argue that's I don't know. In the cases of me playing like games for long periods of time, I know you said that person set out that purpose, but like for me, when I end up doing it, it's not necessarily discipline, it's more lack of discipline causing that.
I guess.
It's like I let loose.
I feel like it depends
and
on
I allow
reason.
myself to give
exactly.
into the temptation of playing the game for time.
I feel like that's different for you. I feel like you were saying if it's like a gamer or like someone that does esports, for example, like if you're a professional gamer and that's what you do for a living, you said like, well, I need to practice this game. You know, that's why I said it's a funny analogy to use because most people are going to think like you.
Like for people in the FGC, for example, like fighting game community, there are people who spend hours, like 13, 14 hours in their fucking basement, stinky as shit, just down there fucking practicing combos, the TODs, like playing Dragon Ball Fighters to make sure they can finish their opponent when they get that chance. It's like, it's crazy how that shit goes. Like, obviously, for some people, like, it could be connected to like what you said, but I feel like it varies in reason. I definitely feel like that's a factor.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's true. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I don't know. I just feel like for me, self-discipline, I try to apply it more rigidly, and a lot of times it doesn't always work. But I feel like it's very important to apply, like how you guys are saying, a lot of aspects when it comes to like studying or working out, or like even with like morality and your morals, like upholding your morals, even though you may benefit from not upholding them at some points in your life in general.
That's another thing. Like I feel like I have to do. Like,
it's from the heart, man.
Like being able to put
bro,
down your
like,
morals.
no, like
keep
like
them up, even like
dude, even like simple things. Like I feel like I have to give to those around me. You know what I mean? I feel like gratuitous for them, you know, to be around me and be in my life. So it's like I feel like I have to give to them. You know.
Right.
For example, like my family, I don't look at it. I look at it as like a non-negotiable cost. If like somebody's like, yo, can you, or if I ask, like every time I go out to, especially like Vincent Joe's, like the grocery store, we have a group chat. I will literally tell them, and if they want something, I will buy it with my own money, and I don't care, and I will give it to them. Like, cause to me, it's like gratuitous. Like I owe them
it's family,
something I have to do.
Family,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all about perspective a lot of times. That's interesting.
Shoot, thinking about it. Another analogy. Like, for example, say it's somebody who's studying for a field in their college or something. Say you studying to do like a dentistry test, like get into dental school.
Yeah.
Like being able to like just do what you gotta do. Like, put down everything around you just to solely focus on acquiring and sucking in that information and locking it in so you never forget it. You memorize it. That shit is so important.
We talked about this before, like not on a podcast, but about like you can recognize yourself if you like study something one time. You can recognize that you probably didn't do it enough. If you like think about it hard enough, like, oh yeah, I might have looked at it and I might have spent a lot of time studying it the first time, but maybe I should go over it again. And holding yourself like do that again, like kind of like you said, to do that again is about self-discipline. It's very important. Like I was saying, like we said that earlier, we all did. The self-discipline goes into so many fields and benefits you.
No,
so
bro.
many
Actually,
ways.
that's a really good way to look at studying. It's just like I never actually thought to do that, and I'm really bad at studying, and I think this may be part of my problem. Like that's actually really good advice. Like you have to look at it like.
Honestly, he's the one that like brought it up.
Oh,
when
they're
we were talking
brilliant
about
to
it.
you. Brilliant
When
to
we
you.
were talking
Like,
about it. He was the one that like mentioned that to me, and I was like I thought like maybe I should really look over something, but not in that way. Like if I should hold myself accountable.
I would love to turn y'all into super studiers.
Yeah,
I would love to turn y'all into expanding.
What did you finish high school with? What did you finish high school with? What was your GPA?
everybody, listen to this.
4.036.
That's crazy.
I mean,
Bro is
That's
summa
great.
cum laude. Like y'all are not like him. He's him.
I know some people might say they were 4.1 or 4.2.
There are some very smart people.
There are
Don't get
very
me
smart
wrong. I'm not gonna say I'm the bottom of the barrel. I just know I got some ways to go.
Yeah.
But like, say if I wasn't even really locked in. I was like halfway locked in. I'm just getting really locked in. So, like college brain's gonna have to be a little bit different.
Yes, sir.
But that's just me becoming the man I want to be.
Well, he's definitely a good person to talk to about these type of things. He definitely helped me learn a lot, for sure.
I'm glad I had that impact.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. That's crazy. Because before, like, bro, when I study, I'm not gonna lie, I look at it like, yo, I read the paper one time, bro. I'm done.
I retained it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
good.
so
Good.
glad.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
I do
no,
the same shit, bro.
Yeah, and I'll do like a few problems. If it's like math, I'll do a few problems. But if it's like anything else, I'll literally just like science. I literally just read it and then I don't do any problems.
Like if I was about my shit in middle of the year, I could have had a higher fucking GPA.
100%.
I could have got credit for my fucking college. I could have missed out. I could have got rid of some classes I wouldn't even have to take if I really got my shit down.
Yeah, I
never
like.
to memorize.
I never thought that, like, I know it sounds like so obvious, but it's like I never actually genuinely like deeply thought hard to myself. Like, did I study enough for this? Am I prepared?
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely didn't. I just assumed, okay, I studied, I should be good, and I understood that I wasn't studying enough, but like I didn't like, you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I got you.
Like looking back on it, I see how much I understudied. Like not being able to judge.
Especially me, shoot.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do shit in high school.
Sometimes I did, like for certain math classes, I did genuinely study.
And you got all them philosophical books in there.
Yeah.
Think about the philosophy of studying. Why am I doing this? Why am I building my knowledge about these certain topics? Even if you don't care about it in the future, it all ties it back to life.
Yeah, of course, in certain aspects, but I feel like, you know, math I need in the aspect of like benefiting me for college and like for it's easier in college, but at that point in life, my way of thinking is like, I don't see it benefiting me in my growth. You know what I mean? And I know it's like a dumb way to look at it because, you know, school is going to help you learn. And I understand that learning is like the tool that you have to sharpen over time. And like math is one of those things that help you learn in general and broaden, like make you smarter and be able to learn more in general and like other aspects too. You know what I mean? It helps you comprehend stuff. But to me, it just wasn't worth it and I was lazy, you know?
See, math to me is like kind of like a piece of the puzzle. Like one of those pieces of puzzle. Like we talk about life. Math is like kind of like a framework that our world works off of.
Yeah.
So I like to think about it that way. That way I'm not just like, oh, what the fuck am I worrying about these numbers?
No, bro, I
never
seriously,
looked at it like that.
dude, I
honestly.
seriously like going through AP Stats this year. Like sometimes thinking about the math problems, even though I know I didn't study the most. This is just from doing a little bit of the AP Stats work and like trying to work through the problems and stuff. I'm better at problem solving and day-to-day stuff. Like, I'm better at thinking about things. Like, I'm able to go deeper into it, and my brain's able to connect certain wires that it wasn't supposed to. Like, my problem solving is a lot better.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of indirect positives that you get from classes like those.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like math helps you like learn. Like, I did not. That's a better way to learn it. Like, or word it. It helps you learn a lot better.
Like, genuinely, like, I don't know, like, day-to-day life, you have so many issues, going on around you, and it's often like very hard to find like the right choice. But math will help it. You know what I mean? You can work through every single possible scenario in your head easier. You know what I mean? Like it's not as tough. Like your brain it works smoother. It's literally exercise. That's why they're called math exercises, bro.
Yeah. Definitely helps you a lot. I wish I definitely would have looked at it differently when I was younger.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely, like after talking about this, I'm gonna definitely try to like apply this to college for sure because I have math college, chemistry for sure. I need to start studying. I need to actually like get in the groove this year because I know I was slacking the entire time in high school. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking back on it and thinking about now how much I have to tighten up and like really get it together for college and like start studying a lot. Cause I didn't really I didn't study at all honestly in high school.
Yes,
Like I don't remember a day I spent more than like 10 minutes reviewing or looking at a book. Like maybe for English, if like we were supposed to read a book, I'd read like a spark notes on the chapters, and then I would take the test or like write whatever I had to do.
I spent time, but I've never like fully devoted my attention to it. Like it's always been like something in the background, or maybe like I skim it a little bit. It's never been something I really like got down. Like okay, let me write down the things I learned from this chapter. Let me break down the systems of how economics work. Because if I did better on the economics shit, wouldn't have to take economics. If I did better on the literature shit, wouldn't have to take writing 101. If I did better on my fucking if I took the AP World Test when I was supposed to, I might have got that.
Me as well. I really regretting now like the math classes I took in high school, and because I wasn't like thinking ahead like for what I wanted to do in my life and what I was trying to do. And like now that I'm more set and I understand what I want for my life and like what I want to do, right? I wish I would have tried harder in those classes, so I would have been way more ahead now in college, so I don't have to pay for these extra classes and whatnot.
Chemistry, I wish so much. It was just such a tough year, bro. I missed the entire class, I swear.
Yep. If I know everyone says I wish I could redo life, but I just
redoing AP Chem is the #1 thing I would do. It's my biggest stress right now, honestly. I'm just worried about that.
Yeah, the word that he uses a lot, and I'm gonna take from him is gems, but I'm definitely gonna instill these gems into my kids. And like definitely tell them and like give them that perspective on like I know it's difficult, I know it's not enjoyable, but if you really listen, you think about it. Like when they're old enough to comprehend, of course, you really think about it. Like this is gonna benefit you in the long run, and like this will hopefully I can instill in them that discipline at a young age, not in like a positive way, not trying hopefully never like using any negative manners and whatnot, in a positive way for it to be beneficial to them, and they can grow from that and become successful human beings, you know. And I definitely feel like if you instill that in them, those perspectives about like math and like even English or whatever it is that they're learning, it will definitely go about it differently than I did at least.
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
The mind is a powerful tool.
Yeah, very powerful.
Nah, seriously, somebody needs to but there needs to be like a guidebook with all like these different ways to like perceive, especially I guess the subjects in your school, especially like for me, for what I'm thinking, just to perceive. Yeah, just full of like ways to perceive them, like thought pathways for people to go through in order to like motivate them in a weird way by just opening their eyes to what it can actually do for them.
A student's key to life.
Yeah, guide to study, man.
Student's perspective.
Yeah.
Student's perspective.
High school to redo.
High school redo. That's a good one, bro.
Okay.
If I could do it over.
Oh God. If I could do it over, a memoir.
If you want to be an apex predator, I don't know, but be the most successful.
Like them practices that Miss Lopo used to give us in economics, I should have did more of them. Even though she didn't grade them, I know now I should have did them.
There's so many things, like the small things that I picked up and I'm looking back on now that I like use, and like as I'm maturing and like becoming what I would say like as a man, you know. And I'm using from like business classes or like even like other classes, like anatomy classes, just things that the teacher would say to me. If I feel like if I listened to them more often, I could have learned so much more. If I just paid attention a little bit more. I feel like we talked about this last time I was here with you guys about like how a lot of people don't like talk about teachers, how much they do for you and whatnot, and how much of a role they can play if you just listen to them. You know what I mean? How influential they can be to you.
Yeah, I feel like when you're young, I don't know why it's so much more tempting to just like try and refuse the knowledge because you think you're gonna be okay without it. But yeah, in reality, you will be okay without it. But you could be so much better off if you were to actually just listen a little bit. If you were to actually, and I don't know why I was so rebellious as a kid. I just didn't care. I was like, bro, stop talking to me. I'm just trying to move on.
I feel like there's a lot of things that play into it. I'm not a psychologist, and I don't think anyone here is, but say they are. but I feel like looking back on it as a kid, I feel like honestly like it's really hard to comprehend like the deeper picture, and I wish there was like an easier way to explain the bigger picture. 'Cause everyone tells you like, oh, do good in high school for it's easier in college, right? And, like, of course I knew that. Of course I knew like, oh, it's gonna make you be more successful. But in my head, as a young kid, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get into college no matter what, as long as I do this bare minimum that I thought I needed, right? And because I was being lazy at the time, I'm gonna do it to the bare minimum that I need because I know I can do that, and I'm gonna have the most fun I can have in high school, right? And same thing I did in middle school. Whatever I need to barely pass and be successful and to make my parents not like hate me, kick me out of the house, you know, realistically. And so I don't know. I wish there was just someone that could really sit me down and be like, I understand that this is the way you think right now, and this is really, I understand you enjoying life, Yeah. But if you do this now, the benefits that it's going to pay off in life, how much more you're going to enjoy your college life now. I understand it's hard to, you want to enjoy being a kid and whatnot, but just, it's not like you're taking away that being a kid, and like I feel like that I had that perception, where like if I was more like rigid, like more strict and more disciplined, you know, that I was going to take away like my childhood, quote unquote, maybe as like one way I would look at it or word it. Maybe, or take that away from me, or like maybe I don't lose it looking back on it, you know.
Bro, I don't know, bro. Thinking back on it, bro, I genuinely feel like Miss Echo carried me.
Miss Echo again?
No, bro. Because when I was really struggling to like study and stuff, and I like finally told myself, okay, you have to do the work to get like the bare minimum to get like a 3.6, because I knew my parents wanted me to at least get like above a 3.5.
Yeah.
So I did the bare minimum to get a 3.6. And then, like, every time in the times where I was struggling with motivation the most, I would think about her. And I would just, like, remember how much, like, she cared. And I would be like, okay, get on your shit, stop being a dick.
You talked about how, like, influential people can be and the impact they can make in your life. But I wonder if it's the way, like, how impactful something is, that a statement is more important than the actual message. Or like how you go about it, or what it is that gets through to them. I wonder what it is.
To be honest, it's not even like
how you. I know it's how you deliver it. I understand that and comprehend it, and how they perceive it and receive it, and how like beneficial they take it to them. Like
recycle that information.
Yeah, they recycle that information. Like if someone's never experienced something nice, and you give them like a nice pair of shoes, for example, like someone that's impoverished, for example, they're probably gonna remember that for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
That someone cared for them, or someone like showed them that kindness and that love, and they're gonna remember that for sure. And someone that gets gifts all the time might not remember that. Yeah, you got a little thing, and then that might be a small thing to them. And I understand the levels of the impactfulness. But like, what would, to me, I'm questioning what would be a thing that's universally impactful to a young child, or a person in general, not even a kid, or a person in general, that you can like instill some things that like further them in life in the future for men and women.
That's a crazy question, but I would say like number one, bro, like start off with like super caring teachers and stuff like we've already talked about. Yeah. You need to surround them with
mentors and teachers in all aspects.
Exactly. People who show a lot of compassion to them and actually like include them and stuff. Like honestly, I feel like classes should be smaller, dude.
Remember when we talked? I talked to you about what I did my senior paper on social emotional development, and obviously I focused it more on teachers and the role they played on it because it was for my teachers because I want a good grade. Love you, Mr. Creedy. Mr. Allen, you're the go-to. But when I researched these things, I was doing it for scholarly articles. I'm gonna speak today, but to like make sure it wasn't like based on BS. And I was learning a lot about like the role and the impactfulness of like someone can do in social emotional learning, right? And like what you can do for something like the relationships you build with a person, from playing that like figure in their life, whether you be a man or a woman, being that role model, like teaching someone like the importance of like learning or like how to build the communication skills and like different things. There's so many levels to it. It's your bonds with people, communication skills, how you do things, how you learn, how you handle your emotions, how you handle things like, I just know I said emotions, but like anger, sadness, like, these are very important things that everyone deals with. And I know people don't acknowledge that a lot of times, but a proper role model can do a lot for a person, even though you might not think. It's like what, 6 hours a day you have school, right?
Yeah.
Not even.
Thinking back on that, like especially in the case of like dealing with emotions and stuff, I'm definitely very thankful to my mother because she always taught me emotional intelligence, like be in control of it.
Yeah.
And you know, honestly, like it helped me practice it as a kid, but I never fully realized what it did until recently.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah, like, but I was already starting to practice it because of her, and like practicing like how to deal with my emotions properly, or like set them aside for the moment and You know what I mean?
My learning of that was kind of different, and I love my parents, but like I noticed some things I didn't like about how they handled their emotions, and I kind of like took that as like, hey, I'm gonna try I'm not bashing them because I love them, but like I would like to have better emotional control than my parents in some situations, like. And when they the way they talk to each other sometimes isn't always the best, but I take that as like, hey, okay, maybe I'm gonna remain calm and reserved in situations like this. That way I can dial it back and I can reassess the situation.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. Same here.
And same with my siblings and I won't say my father because he's always been a chill guy. I feel like I take after him in that aspect, but just overall in general, I'm just gonna take things like you said, gems out of little things that they do. I'm gonna apply that to myself, and gems out of the stuff they do bad and do like the opposite. You know.
You learn from those people that do these negative things, and even though you don't agree with them, and it doesn't make you like dislike them, and sometimes you're gonna do differently from them.
Yeah.
You do better in your perspective, what you believe to be good. Right now.
Yeah, no. It's like you. All right, so something in your life you feel like was handled the wrong way with you, so it makes you realize how important it is that you handle it rightly for the next.
Yeah, my parents did the same thing. They do the same thing I'm doing with them. They took things from their childhood and was like, I don't like how that turned out like that. And they recycled it and do the best they could, and now I'm gonna do the best I can.
Exactly. My mother always tells me, since a young boy, she says, I'm always gonna do the best I can for you guys, no matter what. Even if that means me working more. They not seeing you guys as much, sometimes it's terrible, but like we work more, whatever it is, to provide the best future for you, give you the best chances in life, what I didn't have. I took that to heart. I understand the importance of that. So things like I talked about last time I was here as well, I'm going to refer to that, about Mr. Faunus giving me, like, opening me up to deeper thought. And something like that, I feel like something so powerful to the human. Like being able to, like we talk about all the time, like that's all part of, like I feel like deeper thought, like really thinking about these things. Like being able to hold yourself accountable. Someone told me that at a young age. Someone told me that at a young age. I feel like I would like look at that stuff so much differently. Like if I told my kids, like I know you can't explain deep, like a lot of deep stuff to your kids at a young age. You can't really just be like,
I feel like you got to do that through lessons.
Yeah, you do lessons, but exactly you do apply it through lessons.
It'd be like.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe like they experience something together with your son or daughter, and you like, okay, through this situation, what would you do, son? And
exactly. You learn from it, exactly. But like instead of people, like I feel like as me as a kid, it was just like, this is how it is. I mean, it was always because of like, I don't want to say just because God or because that's just how it is. It's life. You know what I mean?
My mom would always like tell me like examples of stuff of like people telling her stuff through her life and like her like taking them to heart and like how she would apply them. For example, my mom says,
exactly.
If your gas tank is at half, it's empty, and that's something that like I know I don't practice it, but like it's always gonna stick with me like to practice it, cause she said like around here it doesn't necessarily matter, but in a lot of areas, bro, if your gas tank is near half, it's empty because you don't want to be trapped in one of those areas. You know what I mean? Because she used to have to drive through the city in a lot of bad spots, like to get home from work every day because she worked downtown, and it was just she taught me how to like navigate certain stuff and like what to do. Like,
what I meant by that question, I thought I was saying to me at least, like when I was like a little kid, someone tell me something I truly had confidence as you as my person, like my father, my mother, and you explain something to me like just gave me not like a true in-depth explanation, but if you just told me like the sky is blue because God, I would be like, okay. The sky is blue because of God. Like I didn't have that deeper, have that deeper questioning of it. But I understand that too about like, taking things literally from the parents thing and applying those later in life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I really like the way that. I definitely I'm content with like the way I was raised. I guess like I'm really happy with the I think my parents did a good job and I'm proud of them. Type.
Me as well. I think my parents did a really good job. Like I know it's kind of like self. What's the word for it? What would you say?
Like how would you describe it?
Like being big-headed.
Oh.
Yeah. Like having a big ego because I'm saying like my parents did a good job with me, you know.
Yeah.
But I would definitely do a little bit differently for my kids, you know. And definitely.
I mean, same. My parents are really good people, but there's some things I would change about that I'm not gonna do that they did.
They may have believed it was a right or wrong thing. They might know it was the wrong thing, but either way, I'm gonna change it because I believe something completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I get that for sure. Yeah. Definitely a lot of things in my life that my parents have said to me that I don't disagree with them, but as I've matured, I've definitely taken those parents and look at them from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Like maybe I wouldn't do it that way or handle that situation that way. But do I like think that you're like a bad person for handling that? We talked about that at my house earlier. You know what I mean? Never look at it that way.
Yeah, we don't have to view it as that, you know. It just depends.
Yeah, no. I'm like, here's the thing, like parenting's hard. Like, you know, sometimes shit doesn't go the way it's supposed to, bro.
Exactly, 100%.
But in the end, I'm still thankful for what they did so much that I don't really care. I'm just like you guys said, just take and apply like the rules that you learned.
Yeah, there's a lot of situations that you would never have to experience that your parents experienced.
My parents have been through some shit.
Yeah, me as well. And I definitely get that. So like when I take that into account and I like look at it, I'm like, how would I have handled that shit? Me knowing now how it was handled, I can go back and say, oh, I would have done it differently.
Yeah.
But if this is your first time experiencing that, at least my parents had my brother 16 and me at 18, right? Well, my parents are teenagers and babies having babies. If I had a kid now 17 years old, I would not know how to raise a kid. I would not know how to like care for a kid. Even like I like to think I would like one like these things I would want to teach my kid. But realistically, there's no way I'd be able to provide for a kid really like what he really needs or what she really needs and really provide for him, you know. And then, so I don't know what I would do in that situation. But knowing now, things I know, I like to say that I want to do that. You know what I mean?
But another thing is like,
Yeah, it was bright as shit.
yeah.
Lightning sparking the pot.
Yeah, bro. No, but seriously, like, you never know like what situations are gonna arise, like to you when you're a parent, like because a lot of the things like you said, it's from like stuff that they've been through made them react a certain way. But what about the stuff you go through is gonna make you react in a different way that might also be negative to your kids. You know what I mean? So it's not like something you can prevent, but it's just something you should try your best to fix what you can.
Yeah, we all learn from humans learn from experience, like most animals.
Yeah. Eventually, you know, you want to weed out most of the bad stuff. At least, obviously, some things that come with life as a whole, that you're not going to be able to get rid of it completely. But you want to make the best environment for those kids to grow and become something that they can be proud of. More than me, shit. Fuck what I think about as my children. I want y'all to be happy. I want y'all to pursue whatever field y'all want to go into. I want y'all to build the life you want to live around. As long as you live in a life of fulfillment, I'm happy for you, honestly.
I honestly agree with that. As long as you have the baseline morality that I can agree with them.
Yeah.
Baseline morals that like are understandable. And
Yeah, don't be sex trafficking.
Don't be crazy.
Don't be doing no crazy shit.
Yeah, I could support you through pretty much anything but that.
Yeah.
Nah, just do what you can to have the best life. Just
live your life authentically. Be the best person you can be.
Hopefully, as I grow, I'll take more things from life and learn. And hopefully, I'll be able to provide a very good life for my children.
I want to ask you a question. So, like, if say they could like put your mind and like say you could like extend your life by like X amount of years by like putting your brain somewhere else, would you do it? Like imagine you could have a different body and live an extra amount of time.
You're saying if you could like transfer consciousness?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, I'm gonna be realistic with you guys. I like to talk like really logically, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like whatnot, and like that's what I think. But I'm so emotional when it comes to family, alright?
Mm-hmm.
So like to me, I would not do that unless I could bring my family with me.
Oh yeah,
like,
you're
realistic thing. So to me, at the end of the day, like the most devastating thing I could experience is living on Earth without a family. Like that's why I think like, people talk about mortality. I would never want to get mortal. I would never want to see the people I love die around me. That's like the most hurtful thing to me I could ever witness. You know what I mean? I would never want to experience that more than once. I dread to see the day my mother. Like everyone says, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna see their parents die before them, right? And that's a terrible thing. I know it's really fucked up, and I know it's like you probably shouldn't say it's blah blah blah. But I want to die before my mom. Like I know it sounds dumb, but like I just can't imagine what I would feel, like the pain and suffering in my heart.
Me.
Like, it makes me want to cry just thinking about it. Like
my mom's older
I'm the
than me, a
opposite.
lot older than me. My mom's 60 right now.
I've like
humble my mom's younger, but still,
I've-
I think
I've
about
gone
it
through-
sometimes after witnessing family pass away.
I've gone through like
And the hurt I feel from that, you know.
I've gone through so many like phases and stuff where like bro I was on like a bad like path where like you know what I mean I definitely was not looking forward to living type beat like it was bad so you know through those times I realized that everything I'm doing is no longer like for myself. You know what I mean? Everything I do, I stay alive because I know how bad it would hurt everybody around me if I were to pass. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reason I keep on going. Dead ass. And that's the way it's always been since I was a kid. And it's a really stupid and weird way of looking at it, but, like, that's what keeps me pushing. So instead of, like, I don't know. Instead of, like, yours, for me, it's kind of like, the fuck?
I feel like if I did do that, I would live my life for me in this body, and then after I leave that body, I would stay behind in the other body to watch over my family and their growth. Because like I said about my grandma, like how she got to see that whole family grow and expand, I would love to see that in HD.
I feel like it really depends on like. Also, brother, I feel like you have to have a better perspective on life. I feel like
Well, no, but
I
that's
know
that's
personally.
true. That's true. I know you're right. You're right.
It's really heartbreaking to me because I care about you as a person to hear that. You know what I mean? And I feel like you have to live for yourself at certain points. You know?
No, I do live for myself. You know that.
Later, but anyways,
yeah, that is a deep.
yeah. What's it called? But yeah, I feel like in general, definitely have to look at it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
But I definitely get what you're saying. But to me, it definitely depends on how I could handle that emotion. When
Well,
it comes
here's
to
the
that
thing.
time.
Here's the thing. I've been through situations. I know like how strong my mental is, bro. Like especially now, like how weathered it is. Like all the self-discipline and bullshit I've applied. Like, bro, my mental is fucking steel sometimes. I swear to God. Like I
like to think that as well for myself,
So,
right? But I know
but
reality.
I understand that I would much rather myself be hurt than the ones around me be hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. 100%.
So that's just a part of the way I look at it. That's part
So
of
you're a very selfless person. I think that.
I feel like to me, of course, when it comes to like your mother or father, I don't know about like other people, like the thing about your mother or father, I don't like. So I feel like you want to like, if you could say they're gonna do it, I mean, you're gonna try to help them. But I feel like in general, when it comes to like you still have to live for yourself at that point.
How you gonna keep yourself going when everything goes shit?
Yeah, like my big thing, right? Like I say that because like I understand that like death. I understand like the death is.
Well, I view it almost as like, okay, I'm living for myself, but I'm also living for myself for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
I don't know if I like.
I don't view it as such like a negative thing. Like it's like controlling me. It's just like I also understand like I'm very thankful for those around me. And I can't bear to see them hurt. Like,
Yeah, of course. I feel
to.
like and I don't like the word used. I don't like to use the word indebted. Of course, I feel indebted to like my parents to make them proud and like to do good by them and be successful for them, like whatever their expectations are. Like I think we said earlier, like familiar, like family expectations, like friends' expectations and whatnot. I know those are very hard things, so you have to break. And even me, like you know me personally, so you know like how I hold those very dearly when it comes to like certain things in my family, my cultural values and whatnot. And it's hard to break those boundaries sometimes when it makes sense to. Yeah, I mean, it just takes time. Recognition. Yeah, it's really hard.
Oh shit.
Storming.
Stormy conversation.
No lie.
No, bro, it's been a rainy day today. I don't know. Yesterday too.
Yeah, it's just been storming for the last few days.
I'd have to mow the lawn, man.
We have to get along. That's what we get along.
That's what it is.
I definitely think that if I could handle my emotions, though, back to what you were saying, if I can handle my emotions at the time, I just like thinking about it now, it's like so heart-wrenching, and so like I'd be so emotional and broken. But like everyone deals with it at a point in life, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Like being like realistically, you're gonna have to handle that, right? I would hope I wouldn't have a mental break.
Well, here's the thing, like for me, bro, like.
Well,
Do you know how?
Positive perspective, though, right?
Do you know how like hurtful it is to a parent to have their child die before them?
Yeah, of course. That's
Like, bro. Listen to this.
So just said.
Like ever since I've been little, like my family has always been stressed to me, like how important. Like, bro, my nana every time I'm driving or stuff, she'll say precious cargo. You know what I mean? She'd say, be careful, it's precious cargo. Stuff like that. My mom said, just remember, you and your sister are the most important things to me in the entire world. Right? She says that stuff. Like, so this is being preached in my ears, so it's not like, you know what I mean? It's like, I understand how much I mean to them. Like, their goal is to pass on, like, successful people. So, of course, you know, the next generation is going to be the most valuable.
I comprehend that for sure, but to me, I know it's like self-centered, and I know it's like, yeah, I mean, being, what's the word for, being, yeah, it's being self-centered, but I guess is the word I use for it. Because I care so much about how I'm gonna feel about it in a situation. That's why I had to be like realistic at the time. Like you said, I know that my mother would never want to experience me die before her. I know that's just such a terrible thing, and I understand. Like, imagine if you had a kid and it died before you.
Listen,
you feel so terrible.
My parents have family friends, basically. Well, they're friends of my parents, but they're very, very close. Like, you know what I mean? And it's a, I don't know, they're a couple basically, right? And their son. Well, okay, so the mom had a, I don't know, it's kind of hard to talk about on the stream because I know him, but like, the mom had a stroke and she died, right? And then later on, the son, who I believe was 13 at the time, ended up killing himself. And when my parents found out,
It's a terrible thing.
yeah, when my parents found out about it, my dad came into my room and he hugged me and he said, you know how much I love you. And I didn't know why. I didn't know why he did that. I was just like, this is a strange occurrence. And then, like the day later, he went and he told me, he goes, yeah, he told me I was like,
It's such a both of those things are such heart-wrenching things.
She said the mother, how did...
Stroke, best victim stroke.
yeah, and the son did that because he was lost.
Such, yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. Like, to me, I feel for that son and I understand. Like, you know, like how you say that things aren't right, and some things are just never right. But sometimes you can understand the reason behind it.
Yeah. You know it's not the right thing. I'm sure they... I don't want to speak for them.
I can't speak for them either. I shouldn't say it's. I can understand the reasoning because suicide is never the answer. There's always people that care for you. There's always people that you can outreach to, even though it seems like there's not sometimes.
No. I think I don't know.
So I can definitely.
I have a very abstract view of suicide, though. Like ever since I was little, I told you about it, right?
Call the suicide hotline.
No, I said.
Feeling suicidal.
That's what I'm saying. Don't call me because I'm gonna tell you suicide is selfish.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. I'm not afraid to tell anybody that suicide is selfish.
I don't want to say I agree because people got their reasons, but like I kind of agree.
I kind of agree. I feel like
selfish. I feel like I'm not gonna say nothing.
And that's part of the reason.
That's
That's part of
myself on that.
Like you listen to
I
how
haven't
I feel.
experienced suicidal thoughts like that before.
Well, you listen to how like I speak about how I like live for my family type. That's part of it. That's where I get it because I was going through periods where like thinking about my family was the only thing that saved me. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I think about it.
That's how I'm feeling. I feel like if I ever did anything like that, I'd be like, as soon as my parents follow me to the afterlife, they about to like beat my ass. I'm about to get rocked. I'm about to get my shit rocked
exactly.
in front of God. They're gonna be like, they're gonna be swinging. My dad gonna push the shit out of me, and my mom probably gonna kick me in the stomach. You know?
Yeah, no, and seriously, like during those times, that's when I realized like suicide is selfish. That's when it came to me. I was really young at the time. Let's just say that I was in like 5th grade, and that's when it clicked for me. And ever since then, that's how I viewed it, and it's helped me push through those tough times because you know everyone gets sad, everyone gets down, right?
Yeah.
So it's helped guide me just having that core principle in my heart. It's like there's never been like a doubt in me after that. I've never been like, okay, I feel suicidal. You know what I mean? It helps guide me straight. I know it's like a harsh thing to say, especially like people have told me they're like, oh well, you can't like look at somebody suicidal and tell them it's selfish. And I'm like, well, okay, well that's what keeps me from. You know what I mean? That's what keeps me.
That's a lot of people like we talked about before. People can't dictate. I'm gonna use the word reality a lot of times.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
People like if you tell someone something that's very logical, right? Even though it's the truth, if they have a very strong emotion connected to something, they're not gonna want to hear it, and they're gonna take that thing as attack and as like hurtful at the end of the day. At least I feel like most times from like communicating with people. Like if you full-heartedly agree that somebody wronged you, alright, even though they might not have done it, and you just think that person is the one that wronged you, you're not gonna listen to anybody try to reason with you that they didn't do it. Alright, yeah, I mean, like you're gonna be like, well, he stole from me. But in reality, maybe there was somebody else that stole from you. For example, I had a friend that believed, I'm just gonna call him Zach. Zach believed that Jacob stole from him, right? And then Jacob and Aaron were at the house that night. But in reality, I know that Jacob, because I'm close with Jacob, would never steal from Zach, right? And that Jacob would have told me if you told from Zach. That's how close I am with him, right? Because I know like what kind of person he is. He would have told me, even though he might have done some messed up things before. He would have told me if I asked him honestly, man to man, right? And obviously, I know it's terrible to say, but I would never would have told Zach that. But I know Jacob would have told me, right? Aaron, on the other hand, I know I've seen him steal many times in front of me and like tell me about stealing from people, right? But in Zach's head, because of preconceived notions about Jacob, not knowing what Aaron does, right? He'll never comprehend that Aaron's the one that stole from him. I'm pretty sure Aaron's the one that stole from him. I'm not gonna say maybe Jacob did lie to him, right? Maybe he did, but I'm almost positive that Aaron's the one that did steal from him, right? And I cannot convince him or tell him other than, hey man, I know this guy. Like I'm really close with him. I know like even though he might have been a terrible person, might have done some fucked up shit in the past, but he's not like that anymore. And if he did tell me, I know privately he would tell me, and I wouldn't tell him that, right? But like in reality, he would tell me. You know what I mean? And I would know for myself, right? But I have enough respect to tell him that. I wouldn't say shit if he would have told me. Jacob would have told me. But if Jacob told me he didn't steal, I would tell him it wasn't him. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? And I tried to convince him, it didn't work. He's so stuck in that thought that he stole from me because there's preconceived notions about that person. There's no way to convince him otherwise. There's no way. You know.
Yeah.
He got that idea in his heart.
Yeah, like how do you change that? Like, what do you?
You can't. There's just no way to not make it an attack. Because if I say to him that he didn't do it, are you calling me a liar? Do you think that I'm confused? Why? He would never. The other person would never steal from me. Aaron would never steal from me. Oh, Aaron steal from me. And then I have to tell Aaron's business to him. Yeah. Tell him what Aaron's doing now on the side when it's not my place. You know. So it's a shitty situation. And even if you do, he still probably wouldn't listen because of he thinks so much that Jacob stole from him because of the situation and whatever it was. Nobody could like convince him otherwise. And the word I like to use right now is Jacob was up dog shit at the time, so I don't think he'd ever steal from him.
Okay. Valid.
Yeah. So he was like he had a lot of money and whatnot. So.
Also, good reason for Jacob not to steal.
Yes, and plus, Zach's sister hated Jacob because of other things that happened previously. So Zach's
that
sister
kind of
feeding
kind of
into
bias.
So Zach's gonna be biased on top of his sister telling him, "Oh yeah, he probably did it." So how am I gonna consider that? There's other people feeding into it, you know? So it's like that's just like one example I would give of a situation like that. I know I took a long story. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
That's cool. Yeah, man.
I know it's a crazy situation.
Yeah, it's just like wacky because like
Yeah, that was
I know for a fact. I know for a fact you didn't do it. I can
Very
say it.
whimsical situation.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't say for a fact, but I can say 99% that you didn't do it. Yeah. You know, you try to tell him otherwise, like try to make something like explain to him for he doesn't invite that person back to his house, the other person, and he consistently doesn't. So other stuff goes. Yeah, it's not him. Yeah, it's not him. Like what? Like, come on, now other stuff goes missing.
You should tell him to like plan like something to get stolen, and then like invite one person over, and then invite the other person over, and see what happens.
Well, you destroy the relationship with the other person.
That's true.
And the other person even offered, like, he's like, I'll give you what was supposedly taken. But like, if I took it, I was like, it was something really silly. So.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's a crazy situation.
Yeah.
Pray that don't happen to me.
Yeah, it could never be me, man. It could never be me.
Me
I got
personally,
cameras in the
nah.
house.
Me personally, no one knows where I live.
Yeah.
Could not be me. The very few, maybe the brothers.
Yeah.
A few brothers here, these two know. I don't know, there's very like maybe a handful of other people that know.
Gotcha.
Don't have other people in my house like that. Avoid the headache.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know, man.
This is not a house. This is a podcast station.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the studio, okay?
This is the studio. That's the word for it, actually. So.
Yeah, so.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, go ahead. Damn. That sternum, that bone back there cracked.
Yeah, bro. Alright, so this kid is crazy. He's superhuman. His, like, rib cage cracks. It's not
fucking
real. How does it
cracks
happen?
I don't fucking get it. I need my fucking ab roller. I'm going home and I'm getting on that bitch.
You can either go to chiropractor.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like they gonna realign my shit, and all of a sudden something will change.
Hey, bro, what was that workout we did? The erector spine workout?
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh, my
it.
God, bro. I'm walking straight forever after that.
Yeah, I know. Shit. I feel so upright.
I got off that machine now. Shoulders back.
Shoulders back, everything's lined up again.
Good posture forever.
Yes, sir.
Damn, bro. Seeing late already.
Already know.
Man, what can I fuck with in his bedroom when he's gone? What can I fuck with in his bedroom when he's gone?
I don't think he cares about anything in this picture.
Let's see what here we go. Let's see what
Oh,
we
he might, I don't know.
See what we can
That's
show
always a
us.
real excuse.
See what we can show with the podcast. We got a Canadian $5 bill.
Ooh.
You ever see one of these?
Canadian $5 bill. Yeah. We got a fan in the corner of the room. Y'all can't see it though, but I'm not picking it up to show you.
Man.
Got some books. We got the Cars. What's it called? Picture book. I Spy.
We're gonna wait for Braden to get back, and we're gonna let him shout out Lucky, and we'll have him take this little fanboy painting down over here.
Who made that?
I don't know.
Somebody.
You know he loves his Lucky.
Ain't doing this lucky.
That's wild.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't put my bedroom out nowhere, no lie. Are we gonna convince him to get Tinder Premium?
We shouldn't convince him to get Tinder Premium.
Huh?
We should convince you to get Tinder Premium.
You should.
Yeah, we should.
Why?
I'm making that podcast episode.
Yeah. Braden's options.
That should be so funny.
Swiping on Tinder on
No. You can get it on desktop, and we could actually like stream it. The swipes.
can we actually?
Yes, we
So
could.
wait,
Yeah.
we can't put other people in there though.
Oh yeah,
That's kind of messed up.
What if we do it from like a different country, a different area?
Still.
Guys, we'll make a new Tinder
A
premium.
random stream in America.
That's where like 3 people will see it.
Yeah, African Tinder. That's some Mexican on
I need the Andrew Tate plugs.
it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh shoot. You go to Romania.
Yeah, Romanian Tinder.
Oh my goodness. No, bro, you can go global with it. I wonder if you could like select a certain region.
Bro, I was looking for stuff to mess with in your bedroom while you were gone. I was telling them about the Lucky poster or the painting over there. It says your fanboy art. You gotta tell them about it. Shout out Lucky.
Hey, shout out Lucky, the go best rapper ever. If you're not hip to Lucky, yeah, all I can say is you're missing out.
And name some songs, man. Name some songs.
Cupid by Lucky, all of Wake Up Lucky, More Than Ever, Switch Lanes, Root of All. Bro, I could go on forever. It's so gas. All of it, bro. Anything Days Before 2 and up is absolute heat, no matter what album. Watch My Back is also heat. There's super OG ones on there. I don't know. Just know. Get hip to Lucky. New Lucky dropping too. Super Year, Slam Truck, all that crap. Crazy.
Up next.
Lucky, bro.
Lucky up next.
Lucky different.
Shoot.
What's your favorite artist?
My favorite
Rap Fire,
artist,
for sure.
I'm not gonna lie, is probably Pierre. Damn it. It's
What a
probably
weirdo. What a weirdo. I'm judging you now.
You judging me?
Yeah, I'm judging
You judging me because I like
Okay, yours
Why you
is
hating
White
on
Star
Pierre?
Grams.
This is Michigan made music.
Grams.
Why start Grams?
I already
Oh
knew
my
it. I
Lord.
told you. I said I
Right,
knew his was
right.
Grams.
Look, okay,
Right.
Michigan made is cool. I'm just getting into that. That's cool. That's
Nah,
cool.
we were bumping
They a
that in the
little
car
wild.
yesterday.
I'm always gonna fuck with the Michigan rappers, but like, shoot, I've been following. Well, You know, everybody can
Hey,
fuck it.
shout
But
out to
I've
Jack
been
Runner.
listening to Pierre for a minute. I've been listening to that man.
All right,
since-
bro. In my defense, Lucky fuck with Detroit rappers, and I also listen to mostly Detroit if I'm not listening to Lucky. You know what I mean?
Music to bless.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
No,
ever
that's fair,
forget.
that's fair. I know
Shout
you
out to
love
the
it.
Beecher Babies.
What do I need to listen to get on Lucky?
To get on Lucky, bro.
Yeah. What do I need to listen to? What album?
Unlimited.
Hold up.
Can we even play those?
No, I don't think we can, but I can walk you guys. I literally have a Lucky playlist. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I got a Lucky place. You gonna hook me up? Shit.
Bro, I was really hating because I like Pierre. That's crazy. That's crazy thing to say.
I don't know. Yeah, they can't see it.
I think we gotta do. Oh, your screen.
Oh my!
That was a fucking gun. There we go.
That sounded like a rocket launcher.
That sounds like a radio launcher.
Yeah. Alright, so anyways. Lucky playlist. How to get hip to Lucky. A guide. 128 Lucky songs.
Oh my god. Luxter tune?
Luxter Tune.
It's a public playlist.
It's public, bro. It's public.
Oh my god.
Used to Be's fire, Still Miss Yours fire, UGK fire, 2019 fire, Where I Be fire, Cry Out fire, Sparks Vision fire, Busy Day fire, Love Is War fire, Outro fire, At Least I Think It's Real's fire, Unlimited's fire, Pick a Flaw, It's dude, all these are hits. Everything you see on here is an absolute hit. Go Away is so fire. Say I told my PO, I hope you just go away. So fire, bro.
Lucky, man.
Politics is different. Out my way more than ever. Of course you won't believe the hype. Geek Monster. Peach Dream's a classic. Glory Boy. For You City Girl. 2012 Summer is crazy. Too easy, bro. Come on. Hey, get hip to Lucky. That's all I'm gonna say. Lucky advertisement done.
God. Oh, boys.
Yeah,
How long are we into this?
like an hour.
Is it an hour? Exactly an hour.
Exactly.
How much is it going? Like 130?
You gonna keep on going or you wanna cook shrimp?
That's about to be a lot.
Oh yeah.
We got shrimp. Oh yeah, we do gotta make this shrimp.
Guys, we have to cook shrimp. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good shrimp.
Alright, it was a really good podcast, but hey, we're shrimp gang, man.
The shrimp
Shrimp
gang.
gang.
It is what it is.
Shrimp
Shrimp
gang.
comes
Hey, what
first.
can I
I'm sorry.
say? What can I
Gonna
say?
say, we gotta
Sorry,
cook some
shrimp
shrimp,
comes
man.
first. You can't
Comes
stop
first.
it. You
Shrimp
can't
comes
stop the
first all
A train.
day.
Exactly.
Delicious.
Delicioso.